Good morning. Welcome to the Center for Spiritual Living North Metro. Easy for me to say. I'm Reverend Michael Torphy.
I'm Reverend Valerie Torphy.
I'm Sheila Fawcett.
I'm Greg Fawcett. We're the producers.
I'm Dr. Ernestine Garcia, and I'll be doing the readings today.
And I'm Barb. I'm Salo. We're going to do the music.
Yay!
Looking forward to it.
You want to get us going with the...
Absolutely. So I just invite you to close your eyes, take a deep breath. And as we're doing this breath, we recognize that that is the one God, the one power, the one presence, the one spirit, breathing our breath, beating our hearts. It is actually in God we think our thoughts. And so I just know that each one of us is one with the one with each other, one with all that is. I bless this service as it unfolds today with the computer glitches we're done with and all of the other things that we experience today. We're washing it away. We're just standing in the oneness and the power and the presence that we're here and we're here together. And it's absolutely glorious. Mm-hmm. And so I bless each one of us. I bless this service. And together we say, and so it is. And woohoo.
So let's get some music from Barb and Salo.
Yes.
Oh, with that great big breath, we're going to know everything's all in divine order and it's all perfect. So we're going to relax and let go.
Perfect.
Bye. Yes. I relax, let go, release and surrender. I relax, let go, release and surrender. I relax, let go, release and surrender. All is well, all is well. I relax, let go, release and surrender. I relax. Let go, release, and surrender. I relax, let go, release, and surrender. All is well, all is well. And every day I am firm and pray that I'm blessed with everything I have. I release my fear, cause it's all so clear. I am blessed, I am held, I am saved. I relax, let go, release and surrender. I relax, let go, release and surrender. I relax, let go, release and surrender. All is well. All is well. Every day I am firm and brave, and I'm blessed with everything I have. I release my fear, cause it's all so clear. I am held, I am loved, I am saved. I relax, let go, release and surrender. I relax, let go, release and surrender. I relax, let go, release and surrender. All is well, all is well.
Hey, thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.
So we're going to do a few things here and then get back to you for another song.
Awesome. Thank you.
So like us and check in on Facebook at CSL North Metro and check out our website at cslnorthmetro.org. The links for all the services are there. What's going on is there. How to get a hold of us is there. You make donations there. So it's a good place to just go check out and find out all the things we have going on. You can also request prayer and the affirmations and the prayer that Stephan does are out there as well. Today's title is The Great Wall of Nothing. Our guest artists you've already met, Barb Heintzelman and Salo. And our reading today is from Inner Visions. And this particular one is from Reverend Dr. Michael Beckwith. And so I think that's it for me.
So, Ernestine, come, there you are.
Good morning, and I'm ready. Affirmations for the week of March 20th, 2022 by Stephan Anthony. Please repeat after me. All people and experiences support my soul fully.
All people and experiences support my soul fully.
A direct line of love flows freely between me and the allness of life.
A direct line of love flows freely between me and the allness of life.
My path is illuminated by the bright light of God's vision and wisdom.
My path is illuminated by the bright light of God's vision and wisdom.
There is peace and joy everywhere I am.
There is peace and joy everywhere I am.
The principles and practice of spirit guide me always.
The principles and practice of spirit guide me always.
I recognize the perfect nature of my being right here and now.
I recognize the perfect nature of my being right here and right now.
And together we say, and so
so
it
it is.
is. Okay, the reading from Inner Visions by Dr. Michael Beckwith. Navigating through our day, we notice ourselves reacting to the contents of conversations that have no ground in reality. They're fantasy conversations our runaway mind is carrying on based on the illusory debris of the external world. This debris collects in all the cracks and corners of the mind, blown in by the unpredictable storms of collective fears, societal beliefs, religious convictions, the daily news, and other influences that dictate the lives of, quote, normal people. Normal, however, is a failure of potential. We need to further our inner conversation about who and what we are as an emanation of spirit, breathing the holy breath of life as we fulfill our soul's potential. When we realize this, we begin to further the conversation about our inner greatness, our inner beauty, bliss, and compassion, and perceive that same reality in our brothers and sisters. Even sensing the truth subconsciously, we begin to yearn for it to permeate our conscious mind. We wake up in the morning and set the intention to remain patient, joyous, generous, compassionate. Everything is going along fine, and then, oops, it happens. Something jumps into our mind and begins speaking out of our mouth, contradicting our best intentions. Instead of spinning off into self-condemnation, give yourself breathing space. Have a further conversation within yourself and see the purity that is written in your heart. Then you will realize that you are far more than your fleeting thoughts, positive or negative. You are more than society's point of view. Remember that spiritual practice is about giving yourself enough space so that you can touch, feel, and unify with the truth of who and what you really are. In that space, you can observe thoughts and emotional content, not as your identity, but simply as something passing through your awareness. In this spaciousness, we know you are the very substance of love. And together we say,
And so it is. Thank you, Ernestine. It was awesome. We have another song. I think.
we do.
All right.
Good morning. That was beautiful.
Yes.
And we have a song called All We Have Is Now. It's from our Barb and Salo CD. It is already done. Because all we have is now, waiting is not an option. All we have is now. All we have is now. Waiting is not an option. All we have is now. All we have is now. Waiting is not an option. Tomorrow seems like a good idea. Not when you're divinely inspired. The Spirit gives you the urge to pick up your feet. So do it now while you're guided. We have is now. We have is now. Waiting is not an option. Don't let ideas live and die inside. Give them a garden to grow in. Get off your seat and do it now. To divinely create is just knowing. We have is now. All we have is now. Waiting is not an option. All we have is now. We have is now. Waiting is not an option. Be open and inspired like a little child. Be filled with awe and wonder. This beautiful world's our playground. Ground running like thunder. All we have is now. All we have is now. Waiting is not an option. All we have is now. All we have is now. Waiting is not an option.
We apologize for the little in and outs of the music because Barb and Salo were having a challenge with their computer and they're doing it on the phone, which is really commendable that you're still hanging in there. The show must go on. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank
Your
you.
music is beautiful.
Yes.
And the words are great.
Yep.
So we'll be back to you after we do our thing. Yep.
Yeah.
I think I'm going to talk about stuff today.
You're going to talk about stuff?
Our stuff.
I hope we talk about stuff.
Yeah.
Otherwise, what would we talk about?
I don't know. We all have stuff. We all experience stuff. Stuff. What I'm talking about is things that happen to you in your life that makes you feel embarrassed or shameful or guilty or hurt or whatever. And what happens is we have this opportunity to step out and say, this is who I really am. Or we can make the choice and stuff it down in and start building a wall. Mm-hmm. I call it the wall of nothing because it's really nothing. It's just something that we've created in thought inside ourselves because we think we'll be safe by putting up this wall that nobody will see the things that we've shamed ourselves about or felt guilty about. And the wall, again, is just an illusion. It's nothing trying to become something. And it can never be anything, because it's, again, created within ourselves to keep us safe. Safe from what? What are you going to be safe from? Safe from things that you fear, safe from people who've hurt you in some way. You may have gotten hurt in love, in a relationship. But really, all that's taken place is your path unfolding. Everything that you've experienced in your life up to this point in time has made you who you are at this point in time. You can't dismiss the things that you worked at so hard to overcome, because they're just as important, if not more important. The stuff that we wall in can only do harm. I like the Billy Preston lyrics. Nothing from nothing is nothing, and that's what a wall is. It's nothing. It's never been anything, and it never will be anything. Excuse me. I talked to an individual and got his permission to share a story of overcoming, of tearing down the wall. And it happened many years ago. This young man came in with his family and came to our services when I was a minister in Grand Junction. And they came for about 3 weeks and then they disappeared. And one day, the father came up to me and said his son wants to see me. And I said, well, why isn't he here? He says, because he's locked up. He's done something that he's shameful of. So I went over, and my first impression was like, okay, he's a skinhead, because his head was completely shaved. And I went just a second into judgment, but I let it go really quickly. And this young man was hurting really bad. And it took, I don't know, 2 or 3 visits to just hear him talk. And finally, he got around to saying, I was molested when I was a child. And I thought, okay, that's a brave step to take. You've made your first step. Now tell me about it. So he week after week, he would have a different version. First it was this person, and then there was this other situation. And finally, he confessed that it was his father.
But I don't think he knew that until then.
No, he didn't. Well, I don't know.
I'm pretty sure he didn't know that till then, because as he was talking about it and telling his stories, because he also spent a lot of time with me too, and I knew who it was. I could just tell from the pain and the hurt, but he had built up a wall of it must be this or it must be that, because that consequence is too painful for me to even think about.
And he builds up this wall that says it's impossible.
Well, and then I'll shut up.
Okay.
We had a joint session with his family, and he had said who he thought it might be, and the dad was just really upset. I was going to go beat that person up and all this kind of stuff, and it's like, So anyway, I'm done. Go ahead.
So he went on to start taking classes, and at this point he was in a what do they call those houses?
Halfway.
Was it a halfway? It might have been a halfway house.
Yeah, it's not what they call it, but
it wasn't locked up, but group home.
Group home, yeah. And so he would get permission. We got permission for him to come because the class was in the evenings, and Valerie would go and pick him up and bring him back, and they started bonding. This all took place in foundation class, the very first class of the journey towards enlightenment, I guess. So as he kept growing and unfolding and sharing and showing himself, showing the self, his true nature, that he wasn't his guilt, because there was a lot of guilt. People that experience this kind of thing think they're at fault. and there's so much shame, and it's like this heavy weight that's on their back. And he was going through all that, but he kept coming, kept taking classes, ended up going all the way and becoming a practitioner. And he met a young woman, had a child, and he realized that that person that he had a child with wasn't the best mother in the world. So they separated, and he ended up raising this child all by himself. As he's taking classes, as he's becoming this new person, and as time goes on, he got a job, he got his own apartment, he got a car, he raised his child, he sent her through dance classes. And my last connection with him was he bought his now, how old is he?
She's almost 16.
Almost 16. Well, yeah, almost 16. A new car. And this individual did it all on the salary that he makes by working at that same group home. Thank you. The same group home.
Well, he also bought a fourplex
Yeah.
along his journey. So
Well, he bought that while he was working at Taco Bell.
he did.
And God knows how he does all this stuff. But this
He can stretch a penny going farther than anybody I have ever known, and I just really congratulate him for it.
and it's just been such a wonderful thing to see how if you step out and share who you are and confront that wall that has covered something up that you feel is too hard to share. It's the path to freedom.
Mm-hmm.
The path to freedom is sharing and knowing that we are not our bodies, we are not our situations, we are not our mistakes, because a lot of things a lot of things we think of as mistakes and wall in are really just divine opportunities that we're keeping ourselves from not experiencing fully. And how you're experiencing fully, you share, you let it out. When I first started, I had lots of things to share, let me tell you. And I started with my practitioner, and it just unfolded from there, where I was in classes, I'd share things that I'd gone through and things that I thought about myself, because we accept these things and build a wall around. We accept other people's viewpoints of us. We accept that we're not 100% pure because we've done something wrong in the past, and then we've blocked that up. And
Or we perceive we've done something wrong
right,
when we really haven't.
yeah, and we do make mistakes, and the mistakes are really opportunities. I can't stress that enough, because if you're thinking along those terms, that I didn't make a mistake, I experienced an opportunity where I can grow and become more of who I am: beautiful, powerful, perfect, whole, complete, unleashed onto the world. I am ready to be the full me. And once one wall's torn down, you might find another wall. You might have to dig real deep and find another wall that has kept you from expressing who you are. Because it's an important thing to express who we are. Because as we share, people grow along with us. I say, wear your mistakes like a Purple Heart, and just honor yourself for having gone through it and gotten through it and to the other side. I did this. Look who I am. I'm magnificent. I'm perfect, whole, and complete. And I think I'm gonna go. Excuse me. Why don't you take over?
Okay. Well, so what I want to talk about is how we have between 50 and 70,000 thoughts a day. And that's about 3,000 thoughts an hour. And that's about 50 thoughts a minute. And so we experience that steady flow of thinking, just constantly. And I think some of us are better at slowing it down, but until we're aware that we're doing that, we talk about this all of the time. What we're thinking is what we create in our lives. And so all of those thoughts that we're having, whether we're recognizing them or not, whether we're most of them, because we're thinking them, we're believing them.
Mm-hmm.
And so we're also manifesting from the thoughts. So that steady flow of thinking keeps us from connecting with our heart as well. Because when we connect with the heart, instead of just the mind, the heart has an intelligence that, I mean, the mind's really good at formulas and things, but the heart is where our connections come from. And so if we focus on things like meditation and prayer and things like that to slow our thoughts down, that really does a lot. But so it's important that we make time for silence. In the midst of that negativity, I'm going to read this quote by Eckhart Tolle. If in the midst of negativity, we can realize I am creating suffering for myself and I can rise above it.
We're creating what?
Suffering for myself. So I can think of the times when I do that. I get on a thing that was an old thing that I'm still, I didn't handle it right, or I wish I'd done this, or I should have done that. And I can spin on that for a while until it's like, wait a minute. That's old. It's gone. It's done. There's nothing to do to change about it now. And dwelling on it is really making me miserable. Why am I doing that? And still sometimes I have some challenges getting off the track. It's like that brain's really good at that thing where it just wants to hang on to a thing and hang on to it. So I wanted to read this poem. And do you want to talk first before I read it?
Yeah.
This is from a Holmes reader for all seasons. He wrote kind of lots of little books that are just really kind of great. You are as old as yesterday, as young as today, as new as tomorrow. You are as old as last night's setting sun, as young as the dawn of today, as new as your interest in living. You are as old as your fear of life, as young as your faith and hope, as vital as your enthusiasm. You are as old as your memory of hurt, as young as your expectation of good, as buoyant as your joy in accomplishing. You are as old as your doubts, as young as your dreams, as strong as your convictions. So let the rising sun of this new day bring light and laughter into your life and guide you to your heart's desire. By Ernest Holmes. Isn't that beautiful? I just, as I was looking for what to talk about nothing, I came across that and I thought, that's just it. Like, and I'm not saying there aren't things going on in the world that cause a lot of pain and hurt. And I'm just really talking right now today about the things we do to ourselves with our, what did you call it? Stinking thinking?
Yeah.
And then we do have the power to change those thoughts. We do have the power to let go of that old guilt, those old stories, those things we might blame ourselves for. Know that regardless of anything that's happened in your life, Spirit is absolutely only loving you. In, as, and through all that is, there's only love. And all of that stuff we do through our thinking, we're creating that pain for ourselves. And we also have the power to let it go.
When I was looking over notes of things that I've written, and I came across this story that I shared about this young girl who was on the show Extreme Makeovers. Remember that show? Where they come, a whole neighborhood would build or redo the house so it's livable for a family that has nothing. Well, this family had adopted children who were handicapped, and this young lady had what is it called? Three members of her body were amputated, and so she had all these prosthetics in this big can, and there was like a ton of them, and they were all different styles. They were for different uses, like when she was doing sports, and she was like this divine light just running around, and these prosthetics were to her, the way it looked like, was just part of her clothing. It wasn't any different than putting on a coat or a hat, and she had that attitude. And while they were building their house, the family had to go away for some place. So they went to Haiti, and she took all the prosthetics that she wasn't using anymore and brought it to Haiti to give to children that may need it. And I think, we build these walls around little things that aren't anywhere near having three amputated limbs of our body. And that attitude that she had was just to smile and laugh and tell jokes and live a normal life, because she was super normal. She was an inspiration for me at the time, and for all who watched this little girl. Just live life to the fullest. Live life with joy and vigor and happiness.
Mm-hmm.
It was just quite moving to think she never thought of herself as anything else but whole, perfect and complete. And her parents, they said, well, we raise them to know that they can do anything they want to do. That's the way we raise them. But these two individuals adopted children that needed that message, that needed to learn that. And I just think it's a blessing. I just think that for us as grown-ups, and have had all this life experiences, and may have turned off parts of ourselves that are still vital and still wanting to be revealed to the world, that we can do that. We can do it by starting with the simplest thing that you feel you need to hide away, because if anybody knows this thing about you, you might die, or you might never be able to be around anybody anymore. And there's people that hide out. They not only build a wall within themselves, they build a wall around where they live. And what an unhappy way to be. We're here to shine the light of pure spirit. We're here to be that perfection that we were created to be. We're here to give what we have to give, to share the things that we have to share. Because what I know about that young man is every class that he was in, he, because of who he was and the freedom that he was discovering, changed the class, changed those lives. And that's true for each and every one of us. Mm-hmm. There's nothing to be fearful of. There's nothing to be shameful of. There's nothing you should carry guilt about, because you've moved on. Now you're here, and everything's in perfect order. Everything is waiting for your discovery to be revealed, and to love, live, and be that perfect person that you are.
That was beautiful.
Thanks.
It reminds me also of that man that's in the Olympics doing archery with no arms.
Yeah.
He was born with no arms. I can't remember. It might have been that Sunday show that we watched it, but we saw him somewhere. And they interviewed his parents, and they said, we just treat him like a regular kid, and he just figured out how to do things. So he learned how to hold a fork with his foot, and he rode a bicycle, and he drove a car. And when he decided to learn how to use archery, or how to decide to do archery, he had a special thing built so he could hold the bow with his shoulder with his foot, load the arrow in, and release it with his shoulder. And he beat all the people that had two arms, and he consistently beat them. And I just think how amazing it would be for us all to feel all of the time and believe all of the time that we are capable of doing anything that's important for us to do and being anything that's important for us to be. And every single moment is a new moment, and every single day is a new day. And just because something happened yesterday, we don't need to let that stop us for today or tomorrow.
So break down those walls, free yourself, and just see how magnificent you are. Give yourself that experience.
Yes, because you are God's beloved.
Mm-hmm.
In this moment, in every moment, all of the time, regardless of what's happened in your life, what's happening now in your life, what you're thinking, what you're doing, you are God's beloved.
That's right. And we love you.
Mm-hmm. So I just invite you to close your eyes as we recognize that there is only one power, one presence, one infinite intelligence in, as, and through everything that is. It is the smallest grain of sand, the largest, farthest star, everything in between, all that we can see and all that we cannot, and more than that. It is breathing our breath, the thinker of our thoughts, beating our hearts. It is all that is. And I know that it is my life. I know that it is the life of each person present with us today and everyone everywhere. And I know that we experience love and peace and truth and harmony and joy and oneness and abundance and prosperity and compassion and forgiveness and absolute peace and harmony within. And as we internalize these, we also emanate it out. And so as we emanate that love and that peace and that truth out, we create a bigger, better world for everyone who's living in it. And so I also recognize the wars and the suffering and the displaced people and all of those who are living in a place not of their choice because of actions of others. I just surround them with love, with peace and harmony. I know for them safety and shelter and clothing and enough to eat. And I surround them in absolute divine love and divine light and know that they are loved. And so in absolute gratitude, I pass this word to Reverend Michael.
Thank you. And we send out light and love to all those who ask for prayer in any way, not even necessarily through our center, but whoever you ask prayer for. I call upon everybody that's listening to this message to just see the perfection of each individual that is participating in our service today, and all those across the planet. We lock together and form a circle of power, knowing that we don't have to be physically with somebody to know the truth for them, to be their possibility, to hold it and surround it with light and love. And so I send out light and love to Ted, who shuffled off this mortal coil. He was young, but it was his time to go. And I know that he's free now, freed of his body, free of anything that held him back. And so we just surround the family with light and love, knowing for them the peace that surpasses their understanding, and just call forth that peace within them.
Yes.
I want to do something right now. I want you to repeat after me. Self, bring down that wall.
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 Self,
Bring down that wall.
I am power.
I am power.
I am joy.
I am joy.
I am perfect.
I am perfect.
I am peaceful.
I am peaceful.
I'm expansive.
I'm expansive.
I'm a lover of life.
I'm a lover of life.
I'm all this and so much more.
I'm all this and so much more.
So I give thanks.
So I give thanks.
I let go.
I let go.
I allow it to be.
I allow it to be.
And so it
And
is.
so it is. Amen. Amen. Aho. Ashe. And woo. Wow.
Well, you figured something out really spectacular.
That's great.
What a great surprise. Thank you, Salo.
Thank you.
You're just so magnificent. The world is such a better place because the two of you are in it.
That's right.
Thank you. We just love you.
We
Yes,
love
we
you
do.
too. We're having a love fest here.
Yeah.
So we'll be right back to you for your final song, and well, not final for this service.
Yes.
Right.
And,
Hopefully not the end.
so if you're out there and you've enjoyed and you've gotten something from this service, and you want to support us, the best way to do it is, well, keep us in prayer, because we always want you to keep us in your prayers, that we grow and expand in our gloriful, powerful way. But a little manna from heaven works. So consider us a place where you want to contribute your love. Valerie, tell them how.
So the easiest way is to go to our website, cslnorthmetro.org, and there are several ways to give there. You can also use Venmo, and the QR code will be up in a minute, so you can just put your phone right on that code. And we take checks and cash as well, so we invite you to come see us.
So shine your light through your palms towards whatever you're watching on, and know that nothing can keep that energy from us as we bless these gifts from everyone who is moved to give. And repeat after me. Thank you, dear Spirit.
Thank you, dear Spirit.
Thank you for life.
Thank you for life.
Thank you for my life.
Thank you for my life.
Thank you for this opportunity to give.
Thank you for this opportunity to give.
I give freely from my soul.
I give freely from my soul.
No, it goes out and blesses many people.
I know it goes out and blesses many people
And comes back multiplied.
and comes back multiplied.
It is done,
It is done.
and so it
And
is.
so it is.
My apologies. We've switched studios, as you can tell.
That's wonderful.
Okay, what is that picture?
Oh, behind us?
The one that's in orange.
Orange.
The orange. Oh, it's Chairman Meow, Obey the Kitty.
We like to have a sense of humor.
We found that in Cambria one weekend, and so
Oh, I love Cambria.
I had to have it. Oh, God is good all the time, and this morning has just proven us the point of this song. Don't worry, baby.
That's really happy.
So here is a song by the Beach Boys. We retooled it a little bit.
With
So
the words, yes.
yeah, don't worry, baby. Well, it's been building up inside of me for, oh, I don't know how long. I don't know why, but I keep thinking something's bound to go wrong. God looks in my eyes and makes me realize, and God says, don't worry, baby, everything will turn out alright. Don't worry, baby, everything will turn out alright. Don't worry, baby. I know I should have kept my mouth shut when I start to brag about my car, but I can't back down now, 'cause I pushed the universe too far. Spirit makes me come alive and makes me wanna drive, and God says, don't worry, baby, everything will turn out alright. Don't worry, baby, everything will turn out alright.
baby, when you drive today, just take along my love with you. And if you knew how much I love you, baby, nothing could go wrong with you. Oh, what spirit does to me when love's revealed to me, and God says, don't worry, baby, everything will turn out alright. Don't worry, baby, everything will turn out alright. Don't worry, baby.
Yeah.
That was awesome.
That brought me back to my knobby knees, bleach blonde hair.
There we go, flip flops.
Yeah. GTO cars.
Oh, I should have worn my Hawaiian shirt.
Yes.
Yeah, we would what was that called when you drive around in circles?
Cruise.
Yeah,
No.
We were cruising.
with our surfboards on the top.
We're
I
on
would-
the same wavelength.
I wasn't nearly that cool, but we still did the cruising thing, and it was fun. Gas wasn't very much then.
No, no.
I'm so glad you got your music fixed.
Oh,
We would have missed
Yeah.
You know what?
We did our best, and we have a 3-story house, so we're going up and down, up and
Yeah.
down, up and down.
We got our cardio today.
I don't know what you did, but the clarity was beautiful. I mean, everything was so balanced and perfect.
Yeah.
Oh, good.
Good. I'm
Oh.
so glad. Yeah, I just probably need a new computer downstairs. It made a big old update, and it made a big old poo-poo too.
They do that to us.
They do that.
Mhm.
We do. Well, we're so grateful that we got to see you and hear you and experience your amazing consciousness. Thank you. Thank you.
Oh, we are so glad to be a part of this group, and you guys are doing such wonderful things and providing such wonderful consciousness for this entire world. So
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yes.
We love you.
We love you.
love you.
So is there anything we need to know?
Well, we want you to join us on Zoom after the service, and I'm pretty sure the link is in the comments. And if you miss it there, the links are always on our website, cslnorthmetro.org. You can sign up on our website to get the emails that have all the links and all the information in them as well. So, and we invite you to join us on Zoom afterwards, because we always have a good time afterwards.
Yeah.
You can contribute to us
Fun goes on.
by signing up on Amazon.
Oh, I did forget to say that today. If you shop on Amazon and you're not supporting another nonprofit, if you go to smile.amazon.com, you can sign up and support the Center for Spiritual Living North Metro, and when you shop, we get paid. So that's a really good way to support us. Doesn't cost you any extra money, and we get a little bit.
So let's end this with the word. And the word is good as we turn within and recognize, first of all, our presence as being the presence of God, knowing that God is all, as all, through all, in all, around all. God is, that's all that there is. So I bless each and every one of us as we go on into our week, knowing that we experience miracles, we experience pockets of joy everywhere we go. We experience love in our lives. We experience abundance and prosperity and power. We experience all the good that God is as our lives, and we allow it to be revealed to the world. So I'm so very grateful for all that gathered here today. So very grateful for life, my life, for the daughter's life, the life of each person who contributed to make this service unfold in all its glory and splendor. So very grateful, period. And in this sense of absolute bliss of gratitude, I can now release it, let it go, and allow it to be. And together we say, so it is.
About to see if anybody else had comments they wanted to make too. So before we go for Zoom, let's do that. You
Just a
guys?
great service.
Yeah.
message and music.
All right.
Ernestine?
Words from Ernestine.
Oh no, just thank you, grateful for all of it.
All right.
Yeah, thanks for nothing.
Grateful.
Thanks for nothing. Yeah. I like-
All right. We'll see you on Zoom.
All right. Have a wonderful week. Keep smiling.
That's right.
Yes.
See you soon.